The Hermès is already one of the most expensive handbags on earth, but what if it wasn't made from crocodile leather? What if it was made from dinosaur leather? Sounds insane, right? In May, the New York Post ran a headline that shocked the fashion world. A biotech company claimed it could recreate T-Rex leather from 66-million-year-old DNA. The story sparked global debate. Is this the future of fashion or just science fiction marketing? So let's imagine. What would happen if Hermes really swapped crocodile for dinosaur hide? Are we talking $500,000 or 10 million? To understand the stakes, let's start with what Hermes charges today. A Kelly 25 in crocodile sells for $40,000 to $60,000. Exotic Birkins on the secondary market easily hit $200,000. And the record? A Himalayan crocodile Birkin auctioned for $432,000 at Christie's. These astronomical numbers come down to three things: rarity, craftsmanship, and above all, the story behind the bag. Now, imagine replacing crocodile with T-Rex. Dinosaur leather would be unlike anything else in luxury because of three irresistible factors. 1. Ultimate rarity. Not just rare, but extinct. 2. Technological marvel. A material no human has ever touched. 3. Collector psychology. The wealthy don't just buy materials, they buy stories. And this would be the ultimate bragging right. My Birkin is made from a dinosaur. But how much would it cost to create dinosaur leather in the first place? Let's break it down. Step 1. DNA reconstruction. The Human Genome Project cost $3 billion in 13 years. Rebuilding dinosaur DNA would be even harder. Step 2. Cellular engineering. Lab-grown meat companies spend hundreds of millions just to grow chicken nuggets. Growing dinosaur skin? Hundreds of millions more. Step 3. Bio-leather processing. Mushroom leather startups raised over $200 million each. Dinosaur tissue tanning would be even pricier. And then comes the luxury factor. Hermes doesn't just sell materials, it sells myth. Heritage branding and scarcity management already cost millions annually. A dinosaur leather Birkin launch would be staged like a Hollywood premiere. Runways, celebrities, global media. Distribution would be hyper-limited. Invitation only. Maybe even museum-style showcases. First edition pieces, $5 to $10 million. The very first dinosaur leather Birkin would likely sell for 10 to 25 times the price of crocodile. We're talking about the luxury equivalent of landing on the moon. Limited runs, 1 to 3 million. Once the initial shock wore off, limited releases could still command prices that make today's record-breaking bags look affordable. Market stabilization, still 3 to 5 times crocodile prices. Even if the technology became somewhat routine, dinosaur leather would permanently occupy the apex of luxury materials. It isn't just hype. It's the combined weight of astronomical R&D plus Hermes exclusivity. But astronomical costs are only one side of the story. The real question is, how would the market react to dinosaur leather? For traditional collectors, Hermes is about heritage, centuries-old craftsmanship, natural hides, timeless design. Introducing lab-grown dinosaur leather could feel like a betrayal of that DNA. These purists would dismiss it as a gimmick, arguing that no amount of science can replace the soul of traditional materials. Then comes the ethical storm. Playing God with extinct species, even hypothetically, raises questions of morality. Luxury brands today are under pressure to embrace sustainability and responsibility. Hermes could face criticism. Is reviving or replicating dinosaurs for fashion an ethical, or just grotesque excess? Social media outrage could ignite overnight. But not everyone would resist. For the innovation-driven elite, dinosaur leather would represent the future of luxury, a fusion of cutting-edge biotech and storytelling. These buyers see themselves as pioneers. Owning a T-Rex Birkin would be like driving the first Tesla Roadster or wearing the first lab-grown diamond ring, a statement that says, "I'm ahead of the curve." In other words, dinosaur leather wouldn't just disrupt material science, it would disrupt the entire culture of luxury. To some, it would be vulgar. To others, visionary. And that tension is exactly what fuels hype in the ultra-luxury market. This isn't purely fantasy. We're already seeing technology disrupt traditional luxury materials. Lab-grown diamonds now compete with mined stones. Cultured meat is entering restaurants. Synthetic biology is creating new textiles. Companies like Modern Meadow are already creating biofabricated leather without animals. The jump to prehistoric leather might be impossible today, but the concept of engineered luxury materials is very real. If anything close to dinosaur leather became possible, it would represent the ultimate fusion of cutting-edge science and ancient mystique. But here's the twist. In the world of ultra-wealth, controversy doesn't always kill value. It can create it. For billionaire collectors, owning a Birkin T-Rex wouldn't just be about fashion. It would be about making history. When you already own every supercar, every Himalayan Birkin, every blue-chip painting, what's left to buy? Something no one else has ever seen before. A dinosaur leather Birkin would instantly become more than a handbag. It would be a cultural artifact, the first of its kind. Museums would compete to display it as a symbol of how science, fashion, and human ambition collided. Private collectors would fight to outbid each other, not just for the leather itself, but for the bragging rights of saying, "I own the world's first and only T-Rex handbag." In that sense, the louder the backlash, the greater the allure. Because in luxury markets, the one thing rarer than rarity itself is notoriety. But let's snap back to reality. The science just doesn't support it. Paleogeneticists agree, DNA cannot survive 66 million years. The oldest preserved DNA we've ever found comes from a woolly mammoth, around 2 million years old, and even that was fragmented and incomplete. What scientists have actually discovered in T-Rex fossils isn't usable DNA, but traces of collagen proteins, enough to spark headlines, but nowhere near enough to recreate skin, let alone stitch it into a Birkin. With their now, dinosaur leather remains pure fantasy, a hype story that reminds us, sometimes the idea is more powerful than the reality. So, what would a dinosaur Birkin cost? 5 to 10 million for the first edition, several million for limited runs. But in truth, it may never exist. And that's the lesson. In luxury, value isn't just about leather or labor. It's about story, rarity, and the impossible made possible. If Hermes ever released a Birkin T-Rex, it wouldn't just be a handbag, it would be a fossil of the future. Would you buy it if money were no object? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more explorations at the crossroads of science, wealth, and imagination.